Good morning. Today we are going to learn the Mid-Autumn Festival and customs. And this is our intended learning outcomes. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to define the cultural meaning of the Mid-Autumn Festival, describe the main customs of the festival, and compare and contrast the custom of the festival in different countries. And number 4, explain the cultural values and their meanings in the festival. And number 5, evaluate the relative importance of cultural values represented in the festival. And finally, you are able to create a visual representation showing how festival connects people, family, and nature. And this is today's outline. The first part, we will introduce the Mid-Autumn Festival, and then we are going to describe the main customs of this festival. And after that, we will have an activity to discuss the cross-cultural comparison and contrast of customs in different countries. And then the next part is the description of cultural values and their meanings, followed by 2 activities, evaluating cultural values and also have a hands-on activity to create an expression, to create a photo, the picture. And finally, we have a recap. So before the class starts, let's quickly answer some simple questions. The first question, have you heard of the Mid-Autumn Festival? Okay, so now scan the QR code and then try to answer this very simple question. Okay, so we can see that most of you say yes, and some of you say no. Okay, so maybe we can see a short video and then you will be more familiar with this festival. Okay, so this is the video that we can see. Okay, so there are many customs and activities. Okay, so now let's answer this question. After viewing this video, think of 1 or 2 words that come to your mind when you hear Mid-Autumn Festival. Okay, very good. You will see that most of you answer reunion and also mooncake or barbecue, and some of you say nostalgic or pomelo or warm-hearted. Very good. So now we can see these photos. Can you recognize these pictures? The first one is mooncake, barbecue, viewing the moon, pomelo, and also the reunion dinner. So we can find out that these photos shows the Mid-Autumn Festival. Okay, now let's go to introduce the Mid-Autumn Festival. According to its definition, Mid-Autumn Festival, also known as Moon Festival, it's a harvest festival celebrated in Chinese culture. So I know some of you come from US or Japan, so you can think of Thanksgiving in the US or the zucchini in Japan. So maybe you can know the concept or meaning behind the Mid-Autumn Festival. And this festival occurs in the 15th day of the 8th lunar month in the lunar calendar. So for the Western calendar, for example, this year it takes place on October 6th, and then next year it will be September 25th. So it may change depending on the lunar calendar. And on this day, the moon is the brightest and the roundest. That's why we always admire and appreciate the moon on this day. And other countries like Malaysia, Korea, and Japan also celebrate it. Have you ever wondered why people look at the moon on this special night? It is said that it's about the legend of Chang. Her husband Hou Yi shot down 9 sons. It's very hot day, and then the queen mother gave him a magic pill. However, Chang took the pill and flew to the moon. That's why she became the moon goddess. And then Hou Yi missed her and looked at the moon every night. So this is the legend of Chang. Maybe you can think of the story of Mid-Autumn Festival. That's why we need to watch the moon and then admire the moon. And now let's look at the main customs of the Mid-Autumn Festival. You can see this item. The first one is moon gazing, eating mooncakes, family barbecue, lighting lanterns, giving gifts, eating pomelos, temple events, and praying to the moon goddess. Okay, so from this table, to be more specific, we can see its description more easily. The first one is moon gazing. All the family will gather together outdoors to admire the full moon because, as I mentioned, the moon on this day is the brightest and the roundest. And the second custom is eating mooncakes. Mooncakes symbolize unity and happiness, filled with red bean or salted egg yolks. So it's really delicious. And then the third one is family barbecue. We always have a barbecue in Taiwan. I think that's a very special and unique custom in Taiwan only. And then lighting lanterns. Children carry some colorful lanterns while the adults just enjoy lantern fairs. And the next custom is giving gifts. People exchange mooncakes, pomelos, and other gifts to express appreciation and goodwill. Eating pomelos. Pomelos symbolizes good fortune and family unity. And praying to the moon goddess Chang. Some family make offering to the moon goddess Chang, praying for peace and harmony. And the last one is temple events. Temples host lively celebrations such as lion dances and lantern festival. Okay, so now let's continue to the activity. This is a cross-cultural comparison and contrast of festival custom. So you will see the right-hand side, this is a Venn diagram. Okay, so you can see the diagram here. And the middle part is similarity, and the left-hand side is Taiwan, and then the right-hand side is your country. So now think of how people celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival in Taiwan, and then think about how people celebrate it in your country, and then write the differences and similarities in the circle. Okay, think about it. Oh, very good. I think you did a good job. For example, in Taiwan, we have a barbecue with family and eat pomelos and give mooncakes. However, in your country, in Korea, you make and eat sampion. It's a kind of rice cakes, and you wear hanbok. It's a traditional clothes, and visit ancestors' graves. And the similarities is that we always eat with families, enjoy moonlight, and visit family. Okay, very good sharing. And now let's focus on cultural values and their meanings. Okay, so you can see these types. Okay, this picture. We have different cultural values about the Mid-Autumn Festival, including togetherness, gratitude, good fortune, harvest and nature, sharing, joy, and tradition. And we can see this table. For different cultural value, it has different meaning. For example, for togetherness, it means that be together and feel close like the full moon. And usually we eat mooncakes, pomelos, or have a barbecue. And the second one, gratitude. So family will give gifts like mooncakes or fruits to others, and in order to say thank you to family and friends. And then the third one is good fortune. Usually we'll light lanterns and make wishes because we want to hope for a lucky and happy future. And then harvest and nature. We will watch the moon, eat seasonal fruits like pomelos in order to celebrate nature and the harvest time. Okay, and next value is sharing. We will exchange mooncakes or food with others because we want to show kindness and friendship. And then the next one, joy. We will have a barbecue, watch fireworks, or listen to music because we want to enjoy the holiday and have fun together. And finally, it's tradition. That is the final cultural value. We will tell story like the legend of Chang'e as I told you. Okay, because we want to remember Chinese stories and culture. So after reading those tables, I believe that you have a basic understanding about cultural values. So now let's do the activity. Okay, so all the students now rank the 7 values from 1, that is most important, to 7, least important. And then tell us why you chose your number 1 and number 7 values. Okay, so think about it. I will give you some enough wait time, and then you can think about it and discuss with your classmates. Okay, so we can see the results. Okay, I think the results are, we believe that togetherness is the most important, and then sharing is the least important. Okay, so maybe you can think of why you chose your number 1 and number 7 values. Okay, Sam, I think your idea is quite good. Okay, togetherness is the core value because we can gather together and then we can share something we have in our daily life. And that's the concept or the core meaning about Mid-Autumn Festival, because we can have reunion and then gather together. And then for sharing, I think in any festival, okay, I think Mary, your answer is also correct. Sharing, we can share anything from any festival. So it's not only taking place in Mid-Autumn Festival, we can also share something in other festival. That's why we think that is the least important. I agree with you. Okay, and now let's do the last hands-on activity. I believe that you already have that kind of concept about the Mid-Autumn Festival. You also know the main custom, including eat the mooncake and also have a pomelo or barbecue. And you also understand some of the value like togetherness and also joy or sharing. So now, based on your understanding, and think about what you learned today. Draw how the festival connects people, family, and nature. And then try to use some symbols like moon, food, or lantern, or trees. And then add the title or short caption next to your photo or picture. And then, of course, show your creative ideas. And you can see these 2 pictures. This is what I generated from the AI. You can see this is a sample for your information. So maybe you can draw the moon, draw the lantern, and draw some of the people, your family. And for the second pictures, you can draw the moon and then draw some mooncake and draw the family and the tree and to show the togetherness. Okay, so that is for your information. So you can discuss with your classmates and try to draw the visual representation regarding the Mid-Autumn Festival. Okay, very good. I think you already learned a lot. The first one, now let's do the recap. You already know the definition of cultural meaning of the Mid-Autumn Festival. And number 2, we learned the main customs. For example, we know we have a barbecue or we eat mooncake. Okay. And number 3, we also compare and contrast different customs in different countries. For example, Korea and Taiwan. And number 4, we also describe the cultural values and their meanings and make an evaluation of the relative importance of the cultural values. And finally, you also create your own visual representation showing the festival's connection. I think all of you did a very good job, and also all of you already learned a lot from this class. Okay, so now this is the homework and after class task. You need to review today's lesson. Okay, you need to preview and review. Of course, that is very important. And then complete the worksheet that I gave to you and submit it next week. That is very important. You need to summarize and do some questions, try to complete the worksheet, and then write a short reflection about 80 to 100 words on today's topic. Okay, and then prepare for the quiz next class. Remember, after we finish each unit, we will have a quiz, as I mentioned in the first week. And then remember to preview the assigned topic. Okay, the next week, we will teach the Spring Festival. So remember to preview, and maybe you can look up some words or look for some information, some relative information on the internet. Try to have a basic understanding of that festival. Okay, very good. Thank you very much.